live in is a bordering community for the state of New Hampshire. So we live very close to the New Hampshire border. So I'm driving out, as I said, to Syracuse today. So my day is going to be occupied with driving. It was quite cold this morning when I left the house. It was about 23 degrees, but it has warmed up a little bit here now that the sun is high in the sky. Current temperature is 34 degrees here, just south of Albany. Back to you, Roger. AA1 jaydee Mobile, and again, the name here is time out. Time out. Over. APU. Release clear. Repeater ready. Maybe I timed out, Roger. I didn't think I did, but anyhow. Go ahead, Roger. Back over to you. AA1 jaydee Mobile. And again, here the name is Matt. Mexico, America, Tango, Tango. Over, over. I can repeat a timed out. I said, I've been to your town. I know where Wichita is. I've been there. Oh, QSL. Well, not everybody can say that. I've lived in Winchendon since 1991, and I have sort of a hand-picked location. I live right up on top of one of the highest spots in town, and I've got 100 feet of road 45 in the backyard, so my antennas are up at 1,300 feet above sea level. Go ahead. I'm about 100 feet above sea level, I think, somewhere around there. Right? I'm right? I'm just up on the Hudson River, a couple of blocks. QSL, yeah, we just crossed the Hudson River there. Just crossed the Hudson River here just before we turn north on 87. So I know about where you are. And yeah, if you're close to the Hudson, then you're probably pretty close to sea level. I remember the route that goes west, east-west, right across the top of the state of Massachusetts, where you go through Wichita. I can't remember that route name, but I know I've been there. Well, there's a couple of roads that go through Winchendon, but none of them go all the way across Massachusetts. I guess Route 12 goes quite a ways across Massachusetts. Route 140 also goes through Winchendon, and Route 202. So those are the three roads that go right through Winchendon. Maybe the road you're thinking about is Route 2. Route 2, of course, goes all the way across Massachusetts from Boston all the way out to Williamstown. And Route 2 doesn't go through Winchendon, but it comes real close to going through Winchendon. It actually passes just to the south of Winchendon through the town of Gardner, Massachusetts. But it is one of our main highways of egress to and from places from Winchendon. So any of those roads ring a bell with you, Roger? That's it. Route 2. Well, I used to do tractor trailer driving, and I know it was Route 2. Yeah, QSL. Route 2 goes through Gardner, Massachusetts, and then through Westminster. Route 2 doesn't touch Winchendon, but it gets close, but doesn't quite cross Winchendon. Winchendon's just north of Route 2 by a few miles. But if you're familiar with Gardner, the city of Gardner, Massachusetts, that's our bordering town that is on Route 2. It's been a long time. I can't remember the route number, but I know I've been up through that town. Been through Worcester. What do people try?
here was Worcester. I've been through what's that on 295? Or I forget what route you go up through Worcester.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, 290 goes through Worcester, 290 to 190. But 290 is the loop that goes through Worcester. Some people try to call it Worcester, like the steak sauce, Worcester sauce.
That other city in Massachusetts, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh, God. People, they know when you're not from there when you pronounce it. I can't think of the name of that town. I'm sorry. It's been a long time.
Well, there's a bunch of them. But Leicester, Mass is one, and Leominster. Because most people try to call it Leominster. But Leominster, Mass is right on Route 2.
Been all over Massachusetts, pretty much. And the place I hated the most to go to was Boston. Oh, I hated that place.
Yeah, it's nothing but one-way streets. It's tough to navigate your way around Boston because of all the one-way streets.
There you go. That's true. And you get those roundabouts, roundies.
Round and round you go. Where you end up, nobody knows.
Never remember what route it was. The main route in the morning where they used the shoulder of the road through. They're using the shoulder. Was it 128? I forget somewhere. I can't remember where. And in the mornings they use the shoulder for a lane.
Yeah, it sounds like Route 128. Route 128 is total insanity. There's people on all four sides of you traveling at the speed limit plus 20 miles an hour, and no one uses a turn signal or any type of signal. People are just swapping lanes and passing and pulling in front of you and behind you, and it's just total craziness driving that road.
That's the one. Oh, I hated that. Oh my God. So you're going, I think you said you were going to Syracuse, so you're on the thruway, I guess.
Yeah, QSL headed out to Syracuse. My daughter's in college out in Syracuse at Lemoyne University, and just heading out to pick her up and shuttle her back for the Thanksgiving break that she has. She has 5 days off. So that's the deal. Heading out there, and yeah, I'm on the thruway right now, and I'll be getting on the turnpike here, Route 90, in just a few minutes here. I'm just approaching the split between 87 and 90, so I'll be staying on 90 westbound. Go ahead.
I know where you are. Yep. Thanksgiving. You know, the Pilgrims didn't actually eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you know, I think I heard something about that. I don't remember the details of it, but I think I heard something about that. What did they eat? Was it mostly squash and vegetables and corn and stuff like that, or were they able to hunt and get venison and stuff like that as well for the table?
I'm not very sure, but I saw something on television about what they ate, and there was a lot of vegetables. So there you go. Unless the Native Americans taught them how to hunt turkeys.
K1FFK.
Well, absolutely. I know the Native Americans taught them a lot. Without the Native Americans, they probably would have never survived. So we have to give a lot of credit to our Native American Indian friends for what they've done for us. Different why don't you clear up something so I'm using the right terms in New York here? Because of course I'm not from New York, but they use the term thruway, but do they also use the term turnpike in New York? Because there's because Route 87, I think Route 87, which is the road that runs north and south, right? It goes up towards the Adirondacks and up past Lake George and Ticonderoga and up that way. Then it goes all the way down, I believe, down into New York City. That's Route 87. I believe they call that the thruway. What do they locally here in New York call Route 90? What do they call Route 90? Go ahead.
I never heard them call any of the roads turnpike. Thruway is the thruway, and 87. I know that. I've been up that all the way up to Plattsburgh. That's a nice road.
Yeah, QSL. I've heard 87 called the thruway. What do they call Route 90? Route 90, what do they call that? That's the one that runs east-west all the way across the state. What do they call that?
It's part of the thruway system. I imagine that's what it is. I never heard them call anything else.
Oh, okay. So they call 87 and 90 both the thruway? Maybe that's just a generic term for a long-distance road. In Massachusetts, we call Route 90 the Turnpike, or the Mass Pike, the Massachusetts Turnpike, referring to a paid road that goes all the way across the state. That's what we call Route 90. But so you're saying here in New York they call 87 and Route 90, they call both of those a thruway? They don't have a different term for one versus the other? So if someone says, I'm on the thruway, you don't really know what road they're on. You don't know if they're on 87 or Route 90. It could be either one.
KD2 DKR. No 90s is true. I forget what they call 87. Maybe they don't know the term, but I can't remember. KDR or whatever. You got an input into this?
Yeah, I was listening. Anywhere where it's not a toll road, they call it either Interstate 87 or Interstate 90, or I-87 or I-90. And anywhere there's a toll on 90 or 87, it's the thruway. So in other words, parts of the same road are called the thruway, and parts are called I-87 and I-90. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for the clarification. So New York does not use the term turnpike at all for any of their roads?
I heard him use the word turnpike. He's right about I-87 and I-90 and all. 87 from Albany to Plattsburgh, there's no tolls on that road.
Okay, I didn't know if the other station heard the question. I was just wondering if New York uses the term turnpike on any of their roads. I don't think they do. I've seen the term thruway, but I most commonly see the term thruway on 87. Doesn't seem to be as prevalent on 90, even though most of 90 is a paid road where you have to pay a toll. But anyhow, just hoping to get some clarification on that, since I do drive these roads quite a bit now that my daughter is living in Syracuse while she's in college. I buzz back and forwards between Massachusetts and Syracuse, probably 4 or 5 times a year. So
Easy Pass.
Oh yeah, QSL. Very familiar with the Easy Pass. I have the Easy Pass here in the car. I've had an Easy Pass probably for about the last 10 or 12 years. I've been using it quite a bit. But yeah, it's fairly widespread usage now. I don't know how many states are using it, but I know for sure that that Massachusetts uses it, New York uses it, Connecticut uses it, Maine uses it, New Jersey uses it, New Hampshire, and Vermont. So I'm familiar with those states all accepting the Easy Pass, and New Hampshire and Maine have recently added what they call a drive-through Easy Pass. So what that basically does, instead of having to slow down and still go through the toll booth, where you're in little lanes and have to slow down to 15 or 20 miles an hour, New Hampshire and Maine now has put basically high-speed Easy Pass transponders, antennas that are basically on a overhead track that runs above the highway, up about 20 feet above the highway, and you drive through that at regular highway speed, at 65 miles an hour, and you don't even have to slow down. So,
Sign out.
Come on, man.
Sign out. Over. APU. Release clear. Repeater. Ready.
Out all the time.
yeah, repeat that again, Roger.
The repeater's saying timeout. So we can only talk so much, and then it times out.
F1AND.
Yeah, I guess it's got a pretty short leash on us. Is it N1AND? Go ahead. This is AA1JD, Mobile.
Yeah, AA1JD in the group. November 1 Alpha, November Delta. The repeater has a 90-second timer. 90 second. And just was sitting here eating my breakfast, late breakfast, and listening to the conversation. I'm a retired truck driver, and as far as I can tell you, the New York Thruway refers to both 87 and 90. You have to specify the Thruway 87 or the Thruway in 90. They do not use the term turnpike, which, of course, the term turnpike indicates toll. Let me break. So that's my 2 cents there. And Matt, I'm very familiar with Winchendon. I bought my granddaughter a used car a couple of years ago up there in Winchendon, nice little town. And of course, I've been there many times anyway, passing through with the truck. So I just thought I'd stick that in there, guys. N1AND.
Yeah, N1AND. Well, thanks for all that. What's your name, sir?
Name here is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf, and I live in Munson, Massachusetts, about 12 miles southeast of the center of Springfield, right on the Connecticut border. K1FFK.
Okay, QSL on Munson. Well, thank you for that, Doug. That's good information. Yeah, so I guess New York really uses the term thruway for both of their roads that sort of traverse most of the state, one from north to south and the other one from east to west. Other states use a lot of different terms. The term beltway is another term that's used down south quite a bit. I know down in Washington, D.C., they have a road that sort of goes all the way around Washington, D.C., and they call that the Beltway. But a lot of states will call Route 90. They'll call it the Turnpike. I know Massachusetts, of course, does, and I know Ohio does as well. If you stay on Route 90 in Massachusetts and go all the way across New York and go into Route 90 better reset. Go into Route 90 in Ohio, and you go across through Cleveland. They also call that the Turnpike out there, but sounds like New York doesn't use that term, so that's fine. But thanks for that, Doug. That's good. I hope you're enjoying your breakfast, kind of a late breakfast. But a lot of times I'll have a late breakfast and skip lunch. I typically don't have breakfast and lunch. I'll either have breakfast or lunch, and then I'll do dinner. Don't really feel the need to do both unless I get up super early for some reason to go fishing or something. I'll have an early breakfast and then a lunch. But typically one or the other is all I need. Roger, why don't you pick it up and then send it back around to Doug? This is AA1 jaydee Mobile, Route 90, Thruway, westbound.
Sounds like Doug's been through Wichita like me. As a trucker, I've been through Wichita many times. There you go. I used to go up to that town up in New Hampshire, right at the border. What the heck is that town right there before you go over the bridge into Maine? Oh, Portsmouth. I used to go to Portsmouth a lot. There's a sheetrock plant up there, right there. I used to pick up sheetrock.
Okay, I guess it's back around to me. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, very good, Roger. I've been retired about 10 years. I'm 72. I used to run a tractor trailer hauling construction equipment, basically, low bed bulldozers and excavators and that sort of stuff. And I've been all around the Northeast doing that. And prior to that, I did run a van. I ran cross country and stuff. And when I was young and foolish. But anyway, yeah, been up around the Winchendon area quite a number of times. And as I say, a couple of years ago, granddaughter got to be driving age, and she wanted a particular car, a Nissan Maxima, and we found one up there in Winchendon. Let me drop. And so she's been very, very happy with that thing. Can't have it right now. She's in her first year at college at Curry College down in Milton. And they don't allow freshmen to bring their own vehicles. So she's lost without her wonderful Nissan. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump out. I got a mess to clean up after making my breakfast. And I wish you all a great Thanksgiving Day. This is N1 AND, and I guess I'll turn it back to AA1 JB. Was it, Matt? Go.
Yeah, it's Japan Delta, always after 1 Jack Daniel. That's an easy way to remember it. Aye, aye. Okay, Doug, 7-3, thanks for calling in there and giving us that information and sharing your story about Winchendon. It's a nice town. And we are a bordering town for the state of New Hampshire. If you cross over into New Hampshire, depending on which road you take, you'll either end up in you'll either end up in Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire, or Rindge, New Hampshire. Those are the two towns that are actually in New Hampshire, but border on Winchendon, Mass. So depending on which road you take out of Winchendon to the north, you'll either end up in Rindge, New Hampshire, or in Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire. So that's that. Anyhow, this repeater really has some very nice coverage to the west. I think it's good that Greylock is so high, and once you get west of Albany, the land sort of it's rolling, but there's no real high mountains out here that really block Greylock, so it really it plays for quite a ways to the west here. Let me see. Back around to you.
Time out.
Clear. Repeater ready.
You go, I couldn't even. I'm going to say 73s, gentlemen, Matt, Doug, whoever else is in there. 73s, guys. Have a good day. KC2, YKB, and I'm out. Matt, motor safe.
KB1KLQ.
Okay, Roger. 7-3's Roger. Have a great day. Nice chatting with you, and you have a great Thanksgiving day coming up with your family. Go ahead, Brian. Pick it up. AA1 jaydee Mobile, Route 90 westbound. You're about 30 miles west of Albany. Go ahead.
All right, you're making a good time. I'm actually just up in Old Center here in Winch, Kentucky. Went down to Fitchburg, a place called Easton Industrials. Used to get a lot of belts and stuff there. I think I'll try to find someplace else. One of the belts I was looking at was $12. They said they have a new policy now. Anything under 15 is a $3 service charge. I said, well, you can keep the belt and I'll find it somewhere else. I'm paying you an additional $3 just because it's under $20.
Yeah, that sounds kind of silly. I just bought a fairly long belt for my mower deck on my lawnmower. It's a very long belt. It's like 78 inches or something. It goes around all three of the pulleys on the mower deck. And I wanted to replace that before I put it away for the season. And what I did is I took the belt with me and went up to AutoZone. AutoZone up in Ringe. No tax or anything up there. And they measured the belt. They have a belt stretcher. They put it on the belt stretcher and it measures the belt. And they were able to match it up. And I think the belt I got from them was a really long belt, but the belt was around $12. Go ahead.
Yeah, the long belt I wanted, they don't have in stock, and I couldn't make sure it was the exact model I needed. So I ended up at Sears, ordered it through them. I'll have it probably Saturday. That was $80 for the belt.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. $80 for a belt. That sounds like robbery.
K1FFK.
Yep, that it does. But got a couple of days to look around. If I find one cheaper, I'll just tell them when they call and tell me it's in. I'll tell them, just return it. I don't need it. But anyways, sitting in the driveway. So if you're in Albany, you're probably about halfway through your trip out there. So enjoy the rest of your ride. AA1 jaydee, KB1KLQ.
Yeah, QSL. I'm just passing a sign here now that says Syracuse 108 miles. 108 miles. So I'm about an hour and a half from Syracuse. About an hour and a half. So I'm a little bit past halfway, I guess, at this point. 7-3, AA1 jaydee Mobile.
AA1 jaydee, this is N1AND back again. You still there?
Yeah, roger that. Still here. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, you made me think when you were talking about the next town right over the border. I wonder if you ever talked to Paul. He's AB1TC, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie. He's a regular on this repeater when he's available.
No, I don't recognize that call sign. AB1TC. Paul, huh? Do you know what town he lives in?
Oh yes, he lives in Ringe. That's why it came to mind when you said Ringe. Yeah, he's when we have the traffic net, as you just heard at 10 o'clock, when you hear the net control ask for the liaison station for Region 1, that would be Paul, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie. Yeah, he's in Ringe.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I can't say that I've come across him. Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, okay, I just, that popped into my mind when you were talking about Ringe and those towns just over the border there in New Hampshire. And Paul, I don't know. I believe if I remember hearing different things that he said, he must have something to do with farming or a farm, or talks about animals and different things. Anyway, I just wanted to ask you that because I hear Paul, of course, frequently. He's on this repeater quite often. 7-3s for now. Have a nice trip and a nice Thanksgiving, and you got quite a long drive there to get the granddaughter. We only have to go to Milton, Mass. to get your daughter. I'm thinking of granddaughter because I get my granddaughter